Going live. Going live.
How do you live me? How do you live me?
Streaming live.
Ooh, I'm seeing Scarif updates. I haven't seen the level yet. Oh, it looks good. We gotta
Yeah,
play
we
some
need to
back.
get back in on that.
Yeah, we do. We got all the time in the world.
I think
Oh, buddy.
I think we're live, but just let you know.
That's right. Oh, dude, I'm watching Luke run around Scarif right now in Return of the Jedi gear, and it looks super cool.
Oh, yeah?
Oh my god, this looks great, this level.
Oh, we are live. Hello, everybody. It's Friday. It's Friday. But every day is Friday in the quarantine. Have a little bit of her. I don't know about you, but I've been going to bed later and waking up later. I'm all off.
I've noticed when I message you on Facebook and it's like last active 2 hours ago, and I'm like, it's 2 in the morning.
I know, I've been messed up. Since it's Friday, I am having a drinky poo. I've already had a couple of vodkas. Now I'm having wine. So we'll see how this turns out, bud.
I'm having a Moscow Mule that's very strong and very large in these cups that you got me, these mugs.
I cannot drink Moscow Mules because they give me instant stomach acid.
And you don't like ginger stuff anyway.
No, I'm a ginger who hates ginger stuff. All right, so today we are doing another 6 fan arts #6 fan arts challenge, and we are doing this bad boy right here, Mr. General Grievous Kenobi. I've never drawn him before, so I'm just taking in his shape right now. I know the position I want his face, so I'm just going to find an image that's similar to that so I can truly understand the curves of his face. Usually I would take the time to properly study the character before I jumped in, but I was watching the Clone Wars, and it's dope!
It's so good, isn't it?
And when I'm talking about Clone Wars...
Can we talk about that this whole stream?
No, I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it.
I guess.
But I'm talking about the new Clone Wars season that's... Basically, the episodes are going on whilst the events of Revenge of the Sith are happening.
It's so good.
It's very good, yes. Quite good indeed. Alright, I'm going to start with this basic image and work from there.
Would you say... Well, actually, you've just experienced it, so it's hard to say, but is that the coolest Darth Maul scene over the Episode 1 fight? Probably not, right? Can't beat Episode 1 fight with
No, you can't beat the Episode 1 fight, but I will say... Darth Maul has a hallway scene very much like Vader has a hallway scene in Rogue One, and I think I like Darth Maul's better. I'm not gonna lie.
It's crazy, but
I've just seen it, so I'm being completely biased.
You are such a Maul fan, though, aren't you?
I love Darth Maul. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna make Grievous face the other way, because so far each character I've drawn is kind of facing one way. I don't want them to all be facing the same way. Oh, there we go. Look at this shot of Grievous right here. Oh, he's a bad boy.
Oh yeah. Piercy says, "Hey Robson Bros, hey Piercy."
What's up, Piercy
and Green Day said, "Now there's 2 naughty geezers."
Proper naughty.
Proper naughty.
Well, have you already put the podcast up?
Yeah, I mean, I was recorded, edited, posted it, all good, baby.
Wow, I didn't realize you work pretty fast, bud.
Yeah, man, I don't mess around.
Now there's a naughty geezer.
Proper naughty.
Proper naughty. We're all being proper naughty boys today and having a drink and drawing crap.
Yeah,
stuff.
Everybody should have a drink with us. Whoever's...
And if you don't drink and you're straight edge, then have an iced tea. Your favorite kind that you don't have very often. Go get it.
Yeah, have a little treat. Be like, I usually don't
have a choc bar.
I usually don't have carbonated drinks, but you know what? Today's the day.
I gotta have a full fat Coke. Let's do it, boys.
Yeah, rock it out.
Bust out the Red Bull. I know that's the non-drinkers like alcohol.
That's true. Yeah, it's like their cocaine.
Wow.
But yeah,
mask is like a little helmet thing, isn't it?
I put out the episode today, so for anyone that doesn't know, we do a podcast, Spider-Man the Animated Series podcast, where we review episodes, interview voice actors and writers from the show, along with review other things like the toys, merchandising, and everything Spider-Man the Animated Series. You can check us out on iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, or wherever else you get your podcasts. And we just released an episode today where we reviewed a particular episode that I thought was going to be absolute, I can't swear, absolute garbage. And turns out it wasn't.
Nope.
And it was actually pretty good. So I apologized publicly.
Yeah, you should.
You made me. Good. Okay, Green Day. I didn't watch today's episode. Watching tonight after work. Cool. Paul Hill. What else is he gonna do? Hey geezers. So obviously, what else are we gonna do as far as me putting the episode out? I do have a life, you know.
Hope your sketch cards are going good, Paul.
Oh yeah, that's right. Definitely. Iris says, I do believe I have arrived. I do believe you have.
I do believe. Well, you know what, guys? I just want to take a minute to say thank you to everyone that joins us on these streams. Like, it's really nice. It's nice to have, like, reoccurring people that pop up. And just thank you to everybody that's bought a commission so far. You've made me survive the month of April. I was able to pay my mortgage. So, just thanks. Thanks so much. And that being said, my commissions list is open. And if you want to email me at robsonrequest@gmail.com, because currently I only have 2 more commissions to draw, and then it's all game.
Well, you've got something to keep yourself busy with that we've started working on together, haven't you?
Yes, I did tease that last time, but I will also say, you know, actually I haven't told you this yet, because I've been honestly for the first time in my life actually enjoying the art that I've been producing, like traditionally, like
which is great.
The Wolverine, the Venom, I was like for what I charge, I was like, I pay for this. This is good. For some reason, that Wolverine I really liked. So I was thinking about doing, if I don't have any commissions lined up for next week, or if there's any gaps in it, I was thinking of doing my own commissions for my office to frame.
I thought you meant you were going to draw yourself.
No, but I'm thinking of doing a picture of Farm Boy Luke Skywalker holding his lightsaber for the first time as one of them. Then Empire Strikes Back on Cloud City, Luke in the hallway, you know, waiting for Vader to come, like, and pop out. And then a third one of Return of the Jedi Luke with the green saber on Tatooine.
When R2 pops it out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought that would be like a 1, 2, 3. Like, you know how you in the back of your wall like that? If I had like a 1, 2, 3 of that. I don't know why, because I'm not even the biggest Luke fan. I just thought that'd be really cool.
Well, it's the journey of Luke from farm boy to Jedi Master, isn't it? Yeah. And the lightsaber is a big piece of that. I thought you were going to do kind of a...
And I was going to do one with Obi as well.
I thought you were going to do a trail of the lightsaber that is the blue lightsaber that obviously was Anakin's and then became Luke's. But then I suppose you have to do Rey, and no one wants that.
I overrid the power converters.
Green Day said, listen to the new pod before the stream. Thanks very much. We also have him saying, do you guys ever see the making of episode 3 video where they explain how they made General Grievous? I did see that.
I think I saw that. Like, it was like a...
I told you. Yeah,
I did see it. It's really cool.
There was a bunch of sketches that were thrown in there, and they had their favorites, and he wasn't even in the favorites, Grievous. And it was from an artist that was, like, just starting out.
Just starting there, yeah.
And Lucas was like, here he is, here's Grievous, this is it. And the guy's like, what?
Yeah.
You're choosing mine? He's like, that's it, bud. You got it. It's Grievous. Let's do it.
So, George Lucas is Todd McFarlane. That's it, bud. Nailed
it. Paul Hill says, did you guys see my Predator I posted today for the 6 fan arts?
I did see the beginning of you inking that one, which is fun.
I didn't see it, but I'll definitely go check it out. And he also asked, do some fan art for your wife, Will.
I did. I drew a Spyro sketch card the other day because she likes Spyro.
Yeah, that's true.
I did ask her before, like, I've told her, because I do a sketch card every morning, it's just like a warm-up. And I said to her, like, if, you know, do you want me to draw anything? She was like, all she said was, like, Spyro. And that was it. She doesn't really care. Look, I have a wife that doesn't like comics, doesn't really like art, so... And it works.
Doesn't really like you.
No, it doesn't like me that much.
Oh man, it's just like when we were literally, by the way, we did a podcast today and then we were just on the phone before the stream and getting complaints of like, are you guys on the phone before then going live stream? Mm-hmm. And Chloe's obviously echoed that with welcome to my life.
Yeah.
So yeah, very funny. I'm in a proper Star Wars mood today, bud.
Yeah, after watching that Clone Wars and how good it was, I'm so happy that Grievous won the vote. Now, I had some people saying to me, like, why is my choice not up on your votes? And that's because some choices get, A, chosen way before your choice because there's loads of backlogs, and two, some people will choose something and then people will choose them again. So if there's doubles, they're the ones that go up to a vote. And also, I'm not gonna lie, the ones that I really want to do, like someone right before the stream ended yesterday said, put Ash Williams on the vote. I'm a major Ash Williams fan, so that went right up the list. So that's the way it works.
Yeah. Paul says, "Be grateful you don't do sketch cards professionally." LOL.
Oh my god, yeah.
Well, hey man, Paul. You know what? I'm sure that it's got its lots of pains, but the one thing that actually now I've got you on the stream, Paul. The one thing that I've got slightly as an annoyance, but also really happy for you, dude, is Paul did a commission for the voice actor of the Riddler in Batman the Animated Series.
Oh, really?
Yeah, requesed by the voice actor.
I think you did. I think you told me this.
And he tagged a few people in it, and he tagged our podcast page in it. And seeing it and seeing the response, and I mean, it's honestly, it's probably got more attention than any tweet I've ever put out. Like I always get I still get notifications from it today.
Oh really? And was it a real hot tweet?
Yeah, and occasionally I'll like get like you have 6 new notifications on Twitter. I'm like, oh, is maybe people have started sharing the new episode and stuff, and it's all this Paul tweet with Riddler. So thanks, Paul. He's just put the thumbs up in the chat. So cheers, mate. But still, really cool that you managed to do that. Okay, Greendale says, now that Alex is here again, I can finally ask this question. Okay, this is going to be one of these. You are tasked by DC/Warner Brothers with making a live-action Batman Beyond movie.
Oh.
What's the story, and who do you cast as Terry and Old Man Bruce? Well, look, I'm going to jump in right away here and say, and this is nothing new, people have said this, and I completely 100% agree, Michael Keaton should definitely be Old Man Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, and I told you that Tom Holland should just be freaking Terry McGinnis.
Yeah, and Tom Holland should be Terry McGinnis.
He doesn't have as much of an attitude. Like, I'm sure there could be a little better choice out there. The guy who plays Eggsy, he'd be pretty good Batman Beyond as well.
Yes, he would. But there's something like... He's in high school, isn't he?
Yeah.
Terry's in high school, right?
Yeah, I think he's a senior or something like that.
Yeah, so it's Tom Holland then. Because Eggsy's too old. Taron Egerton is too old. So there we go. Those are my 2 choices, and I think you agree with Michael Keaton, right?
Oh, obviously, yeah. Yeah, connected.
Yeah. Okay. And I honestly, like, connected completely to Burton's Batman. Like, I'm totally cool with that. And, like, have... Jack Nicholson's, Joker teeth on display in the Batcave, and like Penguin's umbrella, Catwoman's.
Oh yeah, and just like expand that universe, but like through that sounds great.
Have the old Batmobile, like kind of off in a cave somewhere.
Batmobile.
That'd be so cool to see that again. And then the new Batmobile, but like have the Anton First designs go into the new Batmobile as well, so it looks a lot like the Batman '89 Batmobile.
Jeez, I thought Grievous was going to be easy to draw, but he's so complicated.
Is he? My story for it, I think. I mean, how amazing would it be, bud? He's so old though, but I wonder if you could you could probably do this, and you'd have to get someone that's really good at doing a Jack Nicholson, but I would totally do the Return of the Joker story for Batman Beyond, because imagine if you had someone that could nail Jack Nicholson's mannerisms, and then with CG, and also because he's in Joker makeup, it will be even harder to tell that it's fake, because you've got
in Joker makeup, you could do the smile and it would just look like Jack Nicholson's Joker.
Yeah. But imagine having someone, how they do that in movies where they sometimes put like CG on people's faces, like they did with the guy who did the impersonation of Hugo Weaving for Red Skull in Infinity War, and other stuff. So I would do Return of the Joker, and I would have Jack Nicholson's Joker, and I would have... Who would you have as your Robin? Because obviously Joker's implanted in Terry's mind. Not Terry's mind, sorry. In Tim Drake's mind. It doesn't have to be Tim Drake. It could be Dick Grayson. It doesn't really matter for that type of thing. But who would you have as, like, the Robin that was turned evil. And it'd be so cool in the flashback seeing Michael Keaton back in the old Batman
I mean,
suit.
I don't approve of it, but I'd probably choose Dick Grayson because that's the one everybody knows. But then again, yeah, I don't really approve of that, though.
Did you do Chris O'Donnell?
Yes, you do Chris O'Donnell!
You do Chris O'Donnell, right?
Of course you do, and he's the bag... Yes.
That'd be so cool. And he also, like, he's obviously gone a long way, and he's, like, of the right age where that Robin is, like, middle-aged by then.
Yes, exactly.
That'd be so cool, man. You take in that Burton, like, Schumacher universe, and you make it cool. Because Schumacher also, like, you gotta give him credit, even though, Batman Forever and Batman Robin was a huge leap and departure from Tim Burton's films, you've got a lot of, like, neo-Gotham that you can play with there from Schumacher.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're... The Joe Schumacher Gotham is the Batman Beyond Gotham, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
They even have, like, the gang of, like, kind of clown people in, like, neon.
Yeah. So I would totally do that, and I would have them as Joker's goons. So there's my story. And Green Day said Doctor Sleep movie. Yeah, they did that for Jack Nicholson. But you know what, man? That guy who did it was not good. I love Doctor Sleep, and I need to tell you, Will, you have to see that film.
Oh, I told you, I do want to see it. So when
so
I can
good.
see it, I will see it.
Yeah, so watch that. And yeah, so there's my story, and I think that would make an awesome Batman Beyond movie and weave in our childhood favorite Batmans, and also a really cool, great story. And people will be like, oh, well, Return of the Joker, we already know that it's going to be Robin because of the cartoon. Yeah, well, you know what? Who cares? It's great. So shut up. Watch it.
Now, I like my Grievous. Batman. I like my Grievous with the cape on.
I like Grievous with the cape on, too. Like hunchy cape Grievous, where he's just like walking around. Like, I love when he's walking around, and he's just like, he almost bubbles when he walks around. Yeah. It's great. Paul Hill says, have you ever read the New 52 Batman Beyond books? I have, yeah. And I know they do more Joker stories in there, which I read. They do Mask of the Phantasm in that as well, which is really cool.
A friend of mine's doing a fan Batman Beyond comic. If you look up Hal Laren, Laren...
That sounds like a superhero, like, alias name.
Well, he's been, for a couple of years now, he's been making a Batman Beyond fan book. And it's all about, like, once Batman finally dies, like, and he's the only Batman, what happens then?
What, Terry's the only Batman?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, they tried to, like, connect it where it was, like, it was Bruce's son, because he...
Did they try and do that?
Yeah, they did. It's in a Justice League episode, actually, because Batman Beyond stopped suddenly, and then they closed it out in a Justice League Unlimited episode a few years later, where Terry's older, and he goes and sees the leader of the Suicide Squad. What's her name?
What is her name?
It's gonna drive me nuts.
I love that you and I both forget the same things.
Yeah.
Walker?
Yeah, Amanda Waller.
Right.
Amanda Waller. Thank you. Green Day says, what do I search to find him? The Batman Beyond comic.
I just search Hal Laren, HAL space LAREN, Batman Beyond, and he posts about it all the time. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, we've got Amanda Waller comments coming in now. We got there before we got any help. And yeah, so Terry goes to see Amanda Waller, and there was a plan all along where they knew that the world always needed a Batman, and Bruce had no heirs. So I can't remember if Bruce gave up his DNA. I don't think he did. I think they managed to get it from him. And was like, that was what went in with like the whole process with making Terry. Like, I don't know who they injected.
That's dumb,
like,
because they met each other over circumstance, and I like Batman being a mantle rather than a bloodline.
Yeah, and then okay, so we got here's the actual thing. So Green Day says Amanda Waller injected Bruce's blood into Terry's dad without him knowing it. I just added that, by the way. And she tried to recreate the Batman origin by killing his parents, but obviously they only killed the father instead.
So Amanda Waller is the one that organized all of it?
Yeah.
That's you know what? That's kind of cool.
Right? That's what I've been saying. It's not bad.
I thought they were just like, let's just inject some random boy and hope he becomes Batman.
No, they inject his father and then wanted to kill the parents to recreate Batman. But it's weird that they chose Terry's parents because there's really no explanation of why. They're not like super wealthy. If they were like the next Wayne family in Gotham, if they were like super rich, then
that is true.
fine.
There's no reason why.
Yeah. Scott Holly says, any more cast and call podcasts coming?
I look just like Scott Holly.
Any more cast and call podcasts coming? I've been getting this question quite a bit, dude.
No. There's not.
There isn't. The reason being is, I teeter on the edge of wanting to do it again, but I will say that we started because we're like, it'd be really cool as a premise for a podcast. And we started with the films and franchises and stuff we wanted to do. And then suddenly we found ourselves suggesting ones to do to each other. And we just weren't excited enough to do it. And I'll give you an example. It's like recast Star Wars in the modern day. You're like, oh, that'd be cool. And that's like fun pub chat. But to actually then think about it and you're like, okay, you got Han, you got Luke, you got Leia. It just didn't. And then you're like, how far do you go? And do you do Darth Vader? No, you can't, because James Earl Jones is Darth Vader. But then that's not the point of it. You have to recast them. And it just became a bit too technical and just not as much fun. And they were just properties that we just weren't excited over. So because I have to pay for the Cast and Call podcast platform, just like the Spider-Man one on a monthly basis, it just wasn't worth paying for it. So I pulled the curtain. I shut it down. Maybe we'll come back, or maybe, during all of this quarantine time, we could maybe have a little segment of it on our Spidey podcast. But yeah, we don't want to make the Spidey episodes too long and have them trail off. But we'll still recast when we are on the Spidey, when new characters come along, won't we?
Yeah, of course. That's obviously.
So we'll do that. Herminio says the Grievous one is awesome. Your Grievous.
Oh, thank you.
Green Day says, if you notice, Terry's brother is also black-haired like Terry, where his mum is a redhead and his dad, I think, had brown hair. What, so you think Terry's brother is also...
Ooh, I like that little extra little plot thing there.
Yeah, where it's like, if Terry doesn't work out, then let's try it with this kid? Maybe.
What happens to his brother, then?
Nothing, he's just a kid. Just a brother. Ace Hardy just sent a crown emoji. I'm not sure what that is, but welcome. Green Day says, you guys are definitely going to have to hop on Under the Mask with me to do a Cast and Call-esque episode. Yeah, sounds good. Like I said, man, just you can email me at staspodcast@gmail.com, or you can Facebook message or Instagram or tweet us on the STS page or whatever. But yeah, just send me that and we can connect and have a chat and probably sort something out. I mean, all we got is time, so I'm sure I'll be available.
Time to abandon ship.
Green Day says, in the comics after the show ended, his brother becomes Robin Beyond. Oh, okay. That makes the most sense. So Terry's brother becomes Robin Beyond.
Was he Dick Grayson's genes in him or something?
That would be funny if they're like, so what we did now, and they're like, did you inject
So
Dick Grayson?
basically,
like,
anybody can be a Robin, but to be Batman, you have to have the genes. But I mean, Dick Grayson's been Batman.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, I quite like that storyline.
Great, it's just a great idea.
It is a great idea, and then also his Robin is Batman's son, who's been part of the League of Shadows for God knows how long. Yeah, that's really cool storylines. God, Batman's cool. Batman and Star Wars. I'm so in a Batman Star Wars mood right now. Especially Star Wars after that Clone Wars stuff. Ooh wee, that was good Star Wars tea. Can I? There's 8 people in the chat right now. Can I ask?
I thought you were like, can I go to the toilet?
No. Can I ask you guys? And for people that are watching this after the live stream, sorry, but you're being warned. Can I ask you guys in the chat? Have you all seen Clone Wars, or do you care if we talk about it if you haven't? Because it's in its final season, and there's one more episode to go before the show is completely done. And Will has just seen the 3 episodes of the last part of the season, and I really want to talk about it. And if you guys have seen it and want to talk about it, then let's do it, because I'm totally in a Star Wars mood, and there's so much cool Star Wars goodness.
Yeah, I'm happy I'm drawing Star Wars right now after watching that.
Yeah. We've got Green Day said, I think he's basically like Damien as Robin Beyond. That makes sense. Paul Hill said, I can't remember, did you guys do an episode already on the comics based on Spider-Man, the animated series?
No, we haven't.
Well, we did and we didn't. We did the character design episode, and it was kind of like the original designs of some of the first comics of those characters, but also the Easter egg episodes, episode, should I say, that we did for season 1. I mentioned all of the comics that each episode is based off of. So that's as far as we got with that. I don't know if there's a need to then do a definitive comic to cartoon, because if I do, it's just going to be like the lizard in the comics was in Florida, but in the show he was in the sewers in New York, or the lizard didn't lose his arm, but in the show he was armless. Like, we've kind of done that in the Easter egg as well. So what do you think, Bud? Do you think we should do that? I feel like we've done that in the Easter egg, kind of.
Yeah.
In the Easter egg episode, there's lots of more cool facts, along with also
Unless there's just a website that's dedicated to what happened in those books, you don't have to read them, so you can just list off like fun stuff that did happen in them.
Maybe, but we'll see. I'll keep it in mind. But I think the Easter egg episode and future Easter egg episodes, like, we'll do one every April. So season 2 will come next year. That's where that will lie. Green Day said, I have not seen today's Clone Wars episode, so if we hold out on that one, I'm good.
There you go.
Okay.
So you can't talk about it, because I know that's the episode you want to talk about.
It is. Scott Harley said, haven't watched it yet, but feel free to talk about it. I'll probably forget. Green Day said, all the other episodes feel free to talk about. Herminio said, May the 4th be with you on Monday. Yeah, 4th. Yeah, that's right. May the 4th is on Monday. So that's be when the final Clone Wars episode comes out, and the Mandalorian behind the scenes stuff, which will be
I'm
really...
all on your Disney Plus now, so I'll be ready for it.
I know, you're finally... I love when you signed into my Disney Plus, you're like, my avatar is Baby Yoda.
Yeah, I love that. What's your avatar?
Jack Skellington.
Right. That's a good choice.
Which I think is a good choice for me, right?
Yeah.
And then our father is Darth Vader.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so I thought that was good. I almost did a Star Wars one as well, but I was like, no, I really love Nightmare. There's also... so we won't talk about Clone Wars, that's fine. There's also a series on Disney Plus that I think you might like. It's called Props. And it's this guy who goes around and all the props from certain famous films. Like, I just watched the Nightmare Before Christmas one today. And he went to go see Danny Elfman. And all the... I
can tell you right now, buddy, I can stop you there and say, I would love this show.
The Props show?
Yeah. If it's a guy going around and looking at props from movies I like,
yeah,
I'm good.
So, in the first season, he does Nightmare, he does Pirates of the Caribbean, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. There's a couple other ones there. There's no like Star Wars or things like that. There's Captain America: Winter Soldier in there as well. Interestingly enough, the first episode is like Mary Poppins, so there's some Disney ones that you'll skip over that you won't want to see. But yeah, check it out on Disney Plus. It's called Props, and I was like, it's just a fat nerd that loves movies going around and being like, what's this prop, and tell me about it, and like, what did you use, and all the stories behind Nightmare that I never knew about that I was watching today. I was a big fan of that, so that's a good show. Green Day said, my avatar is Iron Spider, my sister is the Little Mermaid, my parents are Buzz Lightyear, and my cousin is Baby Groot. I don't know any of your family, but I assume that all of those avatars are apt and applicable to their characteristics. Scott Holly said, really ticked off that on Disney Plus that Spider-Man the Animated Series is classed as one series. Yeah, when I first went in...
Oh, really? That must be annoying.
Yeah, when I first went in, it said season 1. I was like, oh no, are we not going to get all of the animated series? But then I kept on scrolling and scrolling, and I was like, oh, we got season 2, season 3. Okay, we're fine. But yeah, it is annoying to have to scroll through one whole season, and there's like 65 episodes in one season. But whatever. You know what? It is slightly annoying that they've done that. But can I just tell you, I did the episode review like I normally do, and having it on Disney Plus now is such a luxury. It's so nice to have Spider-Man the Animated
Yeah, well,
Series.
now I have it. I guess I can just watch it on there.
Yeah, watch it on there, man, because...
But then again, I have mine all split up into seasons, so I know where to go. So is it less of a luxury that I have to scroll all the way through to find the episode?
Whatever's easier for you. I mean, if it's easier for wherever you're getting it to just go into it and click on an episode, then fine. But for me, the Disney Plus... Like, I had it on DVD, so every time I had to watch an episode, I had to, like, go to the DVD and wait for and the DVD never remembered where it was, so every time that I went to go watch an episode, I'd have to go through all the beginning loading stuff, and there was, like, 95 different, like, warnings about copyright infringement and all that stuff. Then I got to the DVD menu, then I'd have to pick the episode and then watch it. And there's something about just going into Disney Plus and being like, Spider-Man the Anime Series, click on the episode, here we go. So I'm so happy that it's on there now because it's been real easy for me for the podcast and reviewing episodes. Okay, we've got Green Day said, adding props to my watch list now. Yeah, it's a great show. Green Day said, I was obsessed with Toy Story as a kid, so I made my parents buzz. Toy Story is a great film. And a great franchise. What would you say, Will, is your favorite Pixar film? Is it The Incredibles?
List them off.
What? List them off?
Yeah, I'm not a huge Pixar guy, so just list them off.
All right, so all the Toy Stories, yeah? So there's 1 through 4. I think you've only... I don't know how many Toy Stories you've seen, but there's 4.
I've seen 3 Toy Stories.
Okay. There is Monsters, Inc., which I know your wife is a big fan of.
Yeah.
There is Up, which alone is worth the admission for Doug the dog. Then there's Finding Nemo and Finding Nemo 2, which is Finding Dory. There's The Incredibles. There's Ratatouille. I should probably look these up because I'm just making this difficult.
I know I think the one I enjoyed the most was WALL-E because it had the most social commentary in it.
Oh, WALL-E's so good. And also, I think that future is almost like where we're about to head soon. Everybody's social distancing. They're in chairs watching like stuff to keep themselves entertained. They've got like robots serving them because they're not interacting with humans. I think that WALL-E is definitely like a future that could end up happening with the way this is going.
Yeah, I'd say WALL-E's my favorite, and I've only seen it once. But I remember I remember when I saw it, I was like, that was a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, and
I'm not hugely into the Kiddlywink story stuff.
No, that robot has a lot of emotion in his eyes.
So does Grievous.
Sure. There's Coco, which I really enjoy. That's a new one, but that was really cool. Inside Out, which I know you're not a big fan of.
Big disappointment.
Finding Nemo, like I said.
I like Finding Nemo.
Yeah, I do too. I like Finding Nemo a lot. Bugs Life.
But then again, I have fond memories of going to see that with our mum in the movie theater, so maybe that's why I like it.
Wasn't I seeing the third Matrix whilst you were watching that?
You were seeing something with our father, and then no, because I saw all the Matrix in the movie theaters.
The third one?
Yeah, I saw all of them in the theaters.
So what did I go see then?
I know you'd have to go to that year and look up what movies came out.
And I'm a massive Pixar fan, so I'm surprised I didn't see Finding Nemo. Anyway, yeah. Well, you picked your favorite. I'd say my favorite. It changes a lot. Like right now, I love Toy Story so much. all of the characters, the concept. I used to think our toys were alive. Like I used to like place them in the room and then sometimes like check on them, and be like, have they moved? You know, like, and we would buy
That's sad.
It's sad. You bought Woody, I bought Buzz. Like
I didn't
we
buy
love
Woody.
those
Woody
toys.
was bought for me.
Yeah, and you love that toy.
Not really.
I think. Well, I thought you did at least. Um,
I mean, come on, Buzz was way cooler than Woody anyway. You got like this big, gigantic action figure, and I just got like a floppy old cowboy.
Cowboy. Buzz Lightyear to the rescue. Well, that's kind of the premise of the first film, isn't it? I'd say, I would have to say that it's either as much as I do love Toy Story, it's either The Incredibles or
You
Ratatouille.
love The Incredibles. I'd say Incredibles is your favorite one.
I do love The Incredibles, but I also
always in the
love
score, and you always go on about The Incredibles.
the score is amazing. But also Ratatouille is fantastic. And
Yeah,
it's
that
all
wasn't
about,
a bad film. I enjoyed that.
and all about cooking, and it's such a great concept. So yeah, I love that. Um, so Scott's saying just my OCD kicking in regard to having it all in one season in Disney Plus. No, that's fair enough, man. Paul Hill said, I'm up to the Man Spider episode, been enjoying the older animated shows. Very good. Herminio says, Toy Story 4 actually made me cry. Yeah, you know what? I like Toy Story 4 a lot. The ending I was a bit pissed off about, if I'm honest.
Well, has everyone seen it? Because I'd like to know the ending, because I have no interest in seeing it.
Well, I'll wait for people to say that before spoiling it, just in case anybody cares about the ending of Toy Story 4. Herminia says The Incredibles is a great film. Green Day says, what are your thoughts on the High Republic books that are being worked on now?
I think they're going to be crap, but I mean, well, as you know, I can't say that. There will be an audience for them. The audience will not be me, because for me, the Star Wars means so much different stuff for so many different people. My Star Wars is definitely The Mandalorian. That's hitting on all cylinders for me. It's got just everything I love about Star Wars is in The Mandalorian. The feel, the cinematography, the music, the space western, it's all there, and I love it. The new movies, like that will be a generation. People from 10 or 15 years from now they grew up on The Force Awakens and all that stuff. They'll love Kylo Ren, and that's totally fine. That's what these movies are made for. I've learned to accept through many bad Star Warses that it's okay for bad Star Wars to exist. I personally do not have high hopes for the new stuff in terms of what I like, and that's fine, because at least I have The Mandalorian. Jesus Christ, like that's why. Like that show is so good that whatever else is going on in the world, I'm good.
Yeah, and if you're digging that version of Star Wars that someone else doesn't dig, that's the beauty of Star Wars, right? Like it just hits on so many different areas for different people, where we completely got sucked into The Mandalorian because, just like you said, it hits on so many different cylinders for both of us. But if Clone Wars is your utter only Star Wars thing, and you're not a fan of The Mandalorian, that's fine. Yeah, but even if you love The Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, that's your Star Wars. That's great, because that's just carrying on a different Star Wars for a different generation. Or, if you've loved Star Wars and that's been your definitive trilogy, I find that hard to believe. But if it is, that's great too, because you found like your Star Wars that means the most to you. And that's what I think is, when people are like, why do you like Star Wars? You try and explain the story and the mythos, and it just doesn't hit. But if you explain the cultural impact that film franchise has had,
it's all about feeling like being back. It's like, it's so nostalgic for me. It's like being a kid and all this stuff. And
and it's like, it is. It's a real comfort thing. And they're just fantastic stories as well. So yeah, they paved the way, I think, for a lot of our imaginations, right? Like you and me, when we're crafting stories or we're coming up with things, we made a list the other day, guys, when we were coming up with our story, and it's like, all right, what do we like in stories? And I was like, well, we like sci-fi, we like things like Star Wars, and we were both like, yep. And then my brother's like, we like sharks, and I was like, yep, we like sharks. So it was almost like going down a little nostalgia trip by ourselves, listing all the franchises and films and things we've liked over the years, isn't it, really? To then go, okay, now we want to write a story with these things because we love that stuff so much. Scott says, my avatar is Chewbacca, always been my favorite character, was ready to walk out the cinema when I thought he got killed off in the last film. I was ready to walk out the cinema for many reasons in that film. But yeah, I mean, overall, I still left that film like, I think I enjoyed that. And then I watched it a couple more times and I was like, I did not. And I totally agree with you. That whole like, Chewbacca's dead. No, he's not. And then, you know what's weird about that? Can I just point out? Everyone thinks Chewie's dead, right? And then later on, Rey is on another planet and they're trying to extract the stuff out of C-3PO, and she's like, guys, I feel that Chewbacca is alive. He's on that ship. I can feel his presence. So you can feel his presence when he's thousands of miles up in the space. But when he supposedly dies on that planet, you can't feel his presence. I thought it was really weird how they did that, because I was like, you felt his presence, but then you thought he was dead, but he's never been dead? That's dumb. Paul Hill said, Will, are you going to be a laugh when you have kids?
A laugh? I hope so.
I hope so too. Herminio says Cars was a great Pixar film too. That's right, the Cars franchise is in there. Green Day says, as a Christmas gift one year from my parents, I got a sketch from my parents, my sister, and myself as the Incredibles on a Fantastic Four blank sketch cover, aka best Fantastic Four film. Yeah, totally agree. And that's cool that they did that on a Fantastic Four cover. The Incredibles is definitely the best Fantastic Four film we've gotten so far. You don't know what Marvel's going to put out next. Herminia said, I enjoyed all the Star Wars movies, anything Star Wars. Geez, people hate everything these days. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hate out there, and I agree. Sometimes you're just like...
It's okay to hate. As long as... What I hate is... And what I try to do is... If I don't like something, I'm not trying to say that we should all not like it, or do you... And I don't need to justify my dislikeness of something either. I don't need a camaraderie around hate for something. Because I don't really hate anything. Well, No, I don't hate the new Star Wars movies. I just dislike them very much because they're just not for me. And it's totally fine if you like them. I hate people that are like, you like it? How could you like it? No. Oh, fuck off! I'm sorry to ruin my monetizing there, but it pisses me off.
That's how you get yourself wound up. It's one of my favorite things. Greenday says, I can understand why some people don't enjoy certain aspects of Star Wars, like some not enjoying the new stuff, but after taking a step back and looking at it all, I love all aspects of them. I agree.
And that's totally fine.
Graffiti King says, Hi, Graffiti. Welcome to the chat. We're talking Star Wars and controversy. Try not to swear. I think with Star Wars as well, like, we have the trilogy that we were introduced to, and then I would say we had the trilogy that we were supposed to be introduced to as far as our Star Wars, because episodes 1, 2, and 3 were supposed to be our Star Wars, weren't they, as kids? And I remember as kids being like, that's not my Star Wars. Episode 4, 5,
but we were
6.
also... That's because, well, one of our dad really likes the original Star Warses. And then we also, for the first time, we got to see those movies in theaters because they re-released them with the new upgraded George Lucas effects. So first Star Wars we ever saw was the original trilogy. Yeah.
Herminia said it is okay to hate. I agree. Yeah, it's all about how you word it and how you express it, and don't try and change other people's opinions. And also,
don't like crap on the creators. Like, it's so there's so much pressure to make like a Star Wars, and also like to create a film. Like I used to go to film school. Making films, it's so tough. Like, and so I don't knock any of the creators and stuff like that. It's just I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Weren't you poo-pooing J.J. Abrams earlier today?
Yeah, I don't like J.J. Abrams, but then that's fine. I don't. It's not like I'm saying I don't like him as a person. I actually do like him as a person. I'm saying his voice I don't like, just like I don't like Neil Gaiman's voice, but I like him as a person.
Yeah, fair.
Look, I need a job when this all goes back to normal, so I can't say too much.
Buddy, I'm not making you say anything. You're the one with the opinions.
It's the wine spice.
I'll ask you a question. What would be, and this is a positive question, you can either name one or several, so I won't put a number on it. What are the redeeming qualities of the new trilogy? Like, to you, what are the things that you like about the new trilogy? There you go. That's the question. Is there
At
things...
first, when I first saw the movie, I didn't like Kylo Ren, but I enjoyed his arc overall towards the end. I like that The Last Jedi took more risks and pushed the new trilogy in a original direction. Because I love risks and I love the unexpected. That's what grips me. Is if I can guess the whole plot to a movie, and this is all about like when you go, like I did go to film school, and I don't want to sound like a wanky bastard, but you know, for years I studied just the process of making stories and what makes a good story, and when you could predict a story, it's not as good for me. And I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, that's what I'm trying to say. I like about the new stuff. I like BB-8. BB-8 super cute. Love BB-8.
Yeah.
Love I almost said Pogs. What are they called?
Porgs.
Porgs. Yeah, I love Porgs because as a French bulldog owner, you gotta love Porgs. And that's about it.
Yeah, that's fair. I really liked. A lot of people hated it, and But before I say this, let me say that I am Luke Skywalker's biggest fan. He's my favorite character.
You are a massive Luke Skywalker fan, aren't you?
He's my favorite character in the Star Wars universe by far. As a kid growing up, I was just like, he is such a great character, and he is going on such a great hero's journey. So for all of that, I'm behind Luke 100%. And I actually really enjoyed his arc in Last Jedi. People have really come down on that and how he's projecting himself and going to that. But that is such an Obi-Wan move. Like, he's an older Jedi. He is Obi-Wan Kenobi, but Luke Skywalker powerful. And he's given up. Like, he lost his Jedi Temple. He lost his nephew in the process to the dark side. Like, dude's gone through a hard life already, but then to have that happen to him, I don't blame him for being like, I'm just going to live on an island and forget everybody and everything else. And then to then have the ending of him, I don't like the line, what do you expect me to do? Face the First Order with a laser sword? I hate that he said laser sword. I don't know why he said that. But I like
that because it's a shout out to what it was originally called and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know, but why would Luke Skywalker say that? Make some character that doesn't know Jedi lore say that. That was weird that Luke Skywalker said that. But regardless, that's just getting into details. Because I like how obviously
Has Luke Skywalker ever said lightsaber?
Yeah, I'm sure he has. I can't point out a particular thing, but he's heard the word lightsaber and he's said the word lightsaber. Darth Vader even says to him, I see you constructed a new lightsaber. So he's not going to be like, no, that's a laser sword, Dad.
Don't you mean my laser sword? Did you just assume that my laser sword's a lightsaber?
I really liked that because it wasn't like he was like, right, I'm going to get my ship that's buried in the water and off I go. And that's what I hate about Rise of Skywalker is he pulled the ship out, which I know was like an ode to Empire with Yoda. But that ship was done for, and then all of a sudden Rey's like, I fixed it up, and off I go.
Yeah.
He's like, well, you know what? I've got to do the right thing, and I've learnt this new power. I don't use the Force that much, but I'm now going to use it, and it's the last time I ever use the Force. And I cried in Last Jedi when he's looking out over the two. He's looking out over the two suns, and that's the last time we see Luke Skywalker alive, and then he disappears into the wind, just like Obi-Wan does, and just like all the other Jedi before him. I thought that was a really great ending, and distracting Kylo Ren so they can escape. That showdown was great. You also don't see Luke, in Crate how Luke is facing Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
And they're sliding across the salt plains, and you can see that salt being pushed with the red sand underneath it. I watched the Luke versus Kylo Ren fight again recently. You see Kylo Ren make those marks in the salt flats, but you don't see Luke Skywalker make those marks at all. There's no footprints, there's no nothing.
That was a big thing that people talked about.
Because he's projected, and I think that's great. All right, back to the chat. We've got Green Day. One thing that graces me out there is the amount of people that ship Anakin and Ahsoka like she's 15 or 16. I don't know how old she is, but I haven't heard anything like that, so I've managed to avoid that sort of hate. Tea of Hero, really, Luke dies, Leia and Han die, but Chewie lives. Why can't he just pass on? Let him be with his friends. Let him finally rest already. That's a good point, Tea of Hero. Like, at the end of it, Chewie's just like, well, everybody I know is dead that I want to hang out with.
Well, they have much bigger life cycles, don't they?
That's true, yeah, because obviously he knew Yoda and all of that stuff beforehand. Herminio says Chewie must always live. Long live Chewie. Herminio also says yes. Luke's still human. Geez, give him a break. Yeah, man. So yeah, I dig Kylo Ren, like you said as well, and his arc. I really dig Luke Skywalker still. Liked The Last Jedi. I really don't like Force Awakens. I tried watching that again recently, going through the 3 films.
And you loved that movie when it came
out. I wouldn't say loved. I said I still enjoyed it.
I would say you defended it.
I feel like JJ gives me surface level entertainment. Like he's trying to tick fans' boxes, and that's what. But because you see through that, where I kind of had the veil a bit, where I was like, oh, they've done this and this is no to that, and he's ticked this fan box and he's ticked this fan box, and I get it. It's really hard to not only make a Star Wars film, but also to finish a 9-episode saga. Like that's a lot of responsibility, and no wonder it has kind of split.
Yeah, and also you can't blame just the creators as well. There's a lot of studio talk as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not just these people that have full control. It is a lot.
But I feel like JJ gave me surface level entertainment where when I first saw it, I was like, you know what? I enjoyed that. It's Star Wars. I got to see the Millennium Falcon. I got to see this. I got to see this. I just had a list of things that I got.
That's not like, yeah, okay, sorry.
And then afterwards, I was like, okay, now I know what I got. What's the story like? Oh, the story's really bad. There's loads of plot holes. Oh, I actually don't like this character development. Oh, they should have done this with this character. Oh, I really feel like they should have done here. And that's just my personal opinion. You know, I'm not like going online and being like, they should have made this character do this and this. But I then start to realize that the stitching ain't as tight as I thought it was, and it's coming loose at the seams. But Last Jedi, I firmly have always liked that film. When I first saw it, I was like, this is good. It's a different Star Wars film, but I like different. And as you said, it's taking it in original, new directions. Watching
I wouldn't
it
say
today,
I like it, but I certainly think it's the best one out of the bunch.
Yeah, watching it today, I will say I still like it. I still think
it today.
No, so watching it now, like meaning today. Right. Sorry, I still enjoy it, and there's like Superman Leia. Yeah, that's lame. I hate that scene. And there's scenes that you can easily take out. Like I don't like the whole arc with
the gambling.
The gambling, and that was supposed to be Lando Calrissian, and then it wasn't. So then they just got weird stuttering Benicio del Toro, which was such a weird choice for a character.
But I did like his character with one line that he said where he's like, it's like they're always going to be fighting, so we might as well like profit off of them. I actually really liked that.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I like the two sides of every war, and profiting, but that could have been Lando, man. Imagine how cool that would have been if that was what Lando now does.
That's not his character.
Maybe he's always played. He played both sides in Empire.
Yeah, but then he switched big time by joining the Rebel Alliance and flying the Millennium Falcon to blow up the Death Star.
Yeah, he did blow up the Death Star too. Yeah. Green Day says, Chewie finally gets a medal though, and it's Han's old medal. Yeah, I like that he got Han's old medal, and he finally got one. But I felt that scene was once again that was like, well, let's give Chewie the medal. How are we going to make that work? Well, Leia's still got it, and then when she dies, she leaves it to Chewie, and I feel like that was a bit too much of a let's make this happen to then give Chewie a medal.
Yeah.
Herminio says, have you ever seen Empire Strikes Back these days? The Mandela effect changed the saying, Luke, I'm your father. Now it says, I am your father, without Luke. No, he never said, Luke, I'm your father. Green Day says, no, I've always heard it as, no, I am your father. That's the line.
Yeah, that is the line.
That's always been the line, unless.
But the pop culture is, Luke, I am your father.
Yeah. So I think Herminio's going with the pop culture and thinking it's been Luke, I'm your father, and now the pop culture has changed it to no, I am your father, when it's always been no, I am your father. I believe that's true, unless Lucas's original Empire Strikes Back was.
Just reminds me of Tommy Boy. Luke, I am your father.
Yeah. Well, you know why? I think that pop culture put in Luke, I am your father, and changed the line is because if you just say, no, I am your father, people may not get it. But if you say, Luke, I am your father, they're like, oh, Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader. You know what I mean? Like, I think that word and name, Luke Skywalker, or Luke being in there, then kind of connects it more for the not so big fan. Because when this came, when Star Wars came out, not everybody was a big fan of it. And especially not knowing Darth Vader was his father. There's some people today that, like, unless they're, telling Porky Pies, some people today are like, I didn't know that Darth Vader was Luke's father. And you're like, where have you been?
I love seeing those videos of people's kids watching Star Wars for the first time, and then they always film that scene, and the kid's face is going.
You're going to do that, aren't you?
Of course I am.
You're going to do that with your kids. I know you're going to sit them down. You know what I was thinking about doing though?
Yeah, but if they end up being like their mother's child, then I'll be very upset.
Yeah, that would
like,
be.
We want to watch Lilo and Stitch. I'm like,
well, you don't do that with your mother. I'm gonna go do Star Wars, and also, spoiler alert, Lilo and Stitch, they all die.
It sucks.
I was thinking when you have kids, and they're of age where like they're about to watch Star Wars, if they have any way for me to contact them, like text or whatever, I'm just gonna be like, so your dad's gonna show you this, and I'm just gonna give you this information. Act surprised at this moment.
You're gonna spoil it like you do with me.
Yeah, spoil everything. Act like happy in this moment. It will make the world. It will like mean the world to him.
He will leave you his money.
Yeah. TF Hero says, I find it funny that both Darth Maul, Count Dooku, Palpatine, and Vader are all so powerful they nearly beat the good guys, but Kylo Ren keeps getting beaten by Rey even when she wasn't even trained. Yeah, and they kind of like try and make an excuse for Rey with all of that, with how powerful she was, because she's Palpatine's granddaughter, and because she's a Palpatine, and because the Force is so strong within the Palpatine family.
Helped. Like, I think that helped her skill level for me.
Yeah.
But as a character, I just don't find her interesting at all.
Yeah. Green says, me too. My favorite is the one where the kid gasps and goes, "Is he really Dad?" as they freak out over the Vader scene.
Yeah.
That's great. I've been watching parents show their kids the prequels for the first time over the originals, like where they're like, we're gonna watch episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then go on from there. And so they don't know that Anakin's going to become Darth Vader, right? And it's great when the kids watch the fight, like, well, first of all, they see the Emperor turn into the Emperor and then, like, execute Order 66. And suddenly, like, the kids are like, why is everyone dying? And, like, and then...
Don't look away. You must watch.
And when they see Anakin with, like, the yellow eyes, they're like, what's wrong with him? Like, they all get so scared. And then when Obi-Wan cuts him up and he's like, I hate you, they're just, like, crying. They're like, this is terrible. Why are you showing us this?
It's great.
It's so good. And there's one girl that was, like, probably 13 or 14, but was totally invested in it because she watched, like, episode 1, 2, and 3 almost back to back. When Anakin was like, I hate you, she's crying. She's like, why did you do this? And, like, everyone's like, you were the chosen one. She's like, right? Yeah. It's really good. There's some great stuff on YouTube when it comes to Star Wars for the first time. You were the chosen one. You were supposed to join the Sith. No. Oh, no, you start. I messed that up.
He's like, I did.
Greender says, I always say for the first time you go 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3, and so on. But to rewatch, go 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6.
Oh, well, everyone has their own version of doing it.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, as he said, for the first time watching it, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3.
I agree with the first time, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, once you've seen that, like, I agree. Watch them in the original order. Even with like Rogue One and stuff, I'm not one of those people who are like, well, you've got to watch Rogue One first to then watch
Just
Episode
watch
4.
them the way they came
They
out
were released.
in the
Yeah,
timeline, because that's the whole point.
it's like people did that with the Marvel movies. And I'm like, just watch them from when they were released. Like, stop trying to be like Captain America's the first movie you should watch, and then it's Captain Marvel, and I'm like, that's too many captains back to back.
Like we're being grumpy old men on this episode for some reason.
But yeah, I think with Star Wars, after I've seen them all, it really is like I just sometimes just chuck on a Star Wars film because I'm like, I fancy watching it. You know, I don't have to watch the whole trilogy or anything. I've rarely then gone back and watched the trilogy or a couple trilogies back to back. Like, I know you just shared them with your wife, Will, but other than that, have you ever gone like, I really fancy watching episodes 1, 2, and 3? Like, it's more like I fancy watching episode 3. I fancy watching
No,
Empire.
I always with Lord of the Rings, Star Wars. What other big trilogies do I like? Or is that it?
I think that's it for you. For me, it's
I think that's it for me.
Harry Potter now.
I like 1, 2, sometimes
1, 2, 3.
I didn't even enjoy 2. I just like watching 1, to be honest, because the acting's so terrible and it's hilarious. No, just with any Star Wars prequels and originals, I just like to watch them in order. Same with Lord of the Rings. I like watching that whole story. It's like watching a season of TV. I wouldn't be like, all right, I'm going to go watch the episode in Breaking Bad where Hal has the shootout, and then I'm going to jump to him chucking the pizza on the roof. I'm like, no.
Yeah. Green Day says, with 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6, you get 2 I Am Your Father experiences. Obviously, I'm Your Father. Then you also get the twins' birth, and you hear Leia being named, and you freak out because you remember they kissed in 5. Then you watch 6 and see how it pans out. Yeah, I can see how that can be appealing, and if I have enough time in a couple of days to do that. Oh my god.
There goes the Copics.
But yeah, I mean, however you want to watch it, really doesn't really matter. For me, I've been hopping around Star Wars and other trilogies these days. I'm like, I just fancy watching the Two Towers. You know, I just fancy watching Empire Strikes Back. I just fancy watching
It's fine. There's no
Matrix.
rules, baby. It's the Wild West.
Yeah, exactly. Or like, would you consider the Matrix a trilogy that you'd want to rewatch over and over again? Or no?
I'd always start with the first one, right? You know, because be like, I really fancy watching Matrix 2.
Yeah, you definitely know. I was going to say, like, maybe I've done that. No, I've never done that. It's always been Matrix 1 as the start. T of Hero says, I love the scene on Revenge of the Sith when the stormtroopers were marching and Anakin is leading. Was a very cool shot. Yeah, that is a cool shot when he's going to the Jedi Temple. Oh, that's so dope that they've just included stuff like that in Clone Wars. Oh my god.
Stop giving spoilers away.
Green Day said, I recently just found out that the robot
chicken...
Look, buddy. You're being a grumpy goose. And you're swearing on your own pod. The wine has gotten to you.
The wine has gotten to me.
You need to calm down. Green Day said, I recently just found out that the robot chicken wizard joke is actually from episode 1 before the pod race.
The what?
Oh yeah, because he calls him some kind of wizard in episode 1. And it's like, no, he's not a wizard, he's a Jedi. Does that mean wizards exist in the Star Wars universe because they know the name wizard? Imagine Merlin just popping up, wielding a lightsaber.
Well, what, you mean Excalibur?
Oh, Excalibur's a lightsaber?
Yeah.
That's pretty dope. Have they ever done a Star Wars story of the first lightsaber?
Probably. They've done a Star Wars story of everything.
Because how cool would it be to have a Jedi that found or created the first lightsaber?
Yeah, that would be
I don't
cool.
know if they've ever done that, but that'd be really cool to do. Herminio says it's like the events in comics and there's tie-ins. People like to watch it in the timeline, not release date. Completely agree. When Green Day mentioned Robot Chicken, it just makes me think of all the funny Emperor stuff. Stormtrooper. That Seth MacFarlane Emperor is just my favourite Emperor.
Yeah, honestly, it is our favourite because every time we play Battlefront 2, when I play as Palpatine, It's all the voices that we do.
It's so good. What do you mean they blew it up? Oh, just rebuild it? Who's going to pay for it? You?
I love you too.
You got an ATM on that torso light right of yours? Look, you better get back here before I tell people what a little bee you were about Padamame or Panda Bear or whatever.
Panda Bear, yeah, I love that. Panda Bear.
Oh, jeez, he's crying. I love all that.
Yeah, and it's the big fat blue guy, like, oh.
I also love when he's trying to, like, now witness the full power, and then the guy's fixing the air conditioning and it's, like, blowing down.
Yeah.
And then he's like from Brooklyn, the builder, and he's like, "Do you mind not doing this here?" And he's like, "Look, Mr. Saltine,
Yeah.
I don't." He calls him Mr. Saltine. I don't tell you how to run the galaxy. You don't tell me how to do my job. Oh, all of that stuff. I could watch those Robot Chicken Palpatine episodes over and over again. Like he's complaining on the Death Star about having a horrible journey, and then his bag's lost. He's like, "It's like that bag, that red stripy bag is just taunting me."
I'll let you say it. You can go ahead and say it.
What? Fuck you, stripy bag.
Yeah. We say that all the time.
Oh, it's so good. I love that so much. He's like, "What do you mean? You've been floating around for 2 weeks? You must smell like a back of burnt rubbery bacon." Oh, it's all so brilliant. Green Day says, "I think that's what the High Republic is about, the First Jedi and lightsabers."
No, it's not.
No? I thought it was like Jedi way before...
It's the Jedi when they were at their peak.
Yeah, which is like way before Palpatine or anybody, like hundreds of years before the events of Clone Wars.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but it's not like the Jedi are thousands of years old then.
Well, we'll see. If they do the first lightsaber story in it, then we'll know, won't we?
Well, I don't think they will, because like I said, it's the High Republic. It's when the Republic was at its best, where the Jedi were in full control, and they were at their peak. And it's kind of like to me it's like they wimped out with not doing Knights of the Old Republic, right? Because that to me is still, if they made Knights of the Old Republic an actual thing, I'd put it up there with Mandalorian instantly. I love that story. I love that world. It's one of the best parts of Star Wars, and if you're in the know of it, you know what I'm talking about. It's the dopeness. Yeah. And I just feel like they couldn't commit to like actually just being like, all right, we're gonna do Knights of the Republic. They had to be like, well, what if we created our own thing? And it's like, shut up! It's Star Wars. It's bigger than you. Just make it.
Grievous, by the way, looks great.
Thanks.
You did a really good job with the glow of the lightsabers on his face as well. I'm a big fan that you put those lightsabers in there, bud.
Oh, thank you, buddy.
I like that blue and the green. Yeah, that's really cool.
Time to abandon ship. I love that meme. I love the memes where he's like, "This wouldn't be a fine addition to my collection," and he's like, "They did you see that thing where they put him in Rise of Skywalker when Kylo Ren chucks his lightsaber into the sea? Grievous, you could just hear like chomp, 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 chomp. And he runs up and he's like, "Another fine addition to my collection," and then jumps in the water. Cracks you up.
That's amazing. I haven't seen that. That's brilliant. Okay. You're pretty much done because I'm looking for a question, right?
I'm pretty close to being done. Yeah.
Yeah. Do.
So if you want to get that going, yeah, we're giving away an issue 2 today. So if any of you all didn't catch an issue 2, we're giving away an issue 2 of Spider-Ham.
Amazing. All right, I've got my question.
Well, then get to it, bud.
Okay, so for all those listening and participating that want to win that issue, the question is going to be a Star Wars question today because I'm in a super Star Wars mood. Plus, it's obviously a Star Wars commission that we're showing today. So the question is, How many parsecs did Han Solo make the Kessel Run in?
That's a good question. That's a nice, solid question. I approve of that question.
Not too difficult, not too easy, right?
Yeah.
I love earlier when I was doing the podcast and you get all bent out of shape about my questions in the quiz, which I will admit were definitely tough. And then I'm like, what letter on the wall? And you're like just yelling out different letters. And then I was like, nope, nope, nope. And you're like, that's still a great question. Every question should be like that. Love your response there. It was really nice talking to myself in that moment.
I'm sorry, I'm concentrating.
I'm concentrating. Use the force. Concentrate. Let the force flow through your pen. Do you know what? I cracked up the other day. I was listening to a podcast and they were reviewing Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about how like Harry and everybody in those film franchise, they write with like a quill pen and ink, but they're using all this magic. And they're like, how have they not figured out how to like just write with magic and not need a quill pen and ink? And then the other guy in the podcast is like, oh, why don't they just use regular friggin' pens?
Ever heard of a biro?
Yeah, and I was like, that's a really good point. Why aren't they just using bloody ink pens? Why do they got to use feathers and stuff? They're like, it just goes with the aesthetic here. It's like, no, you don't need to use that. Just use an ink pen. No answers yet on the old...
yeah,
the old
recently these folks here have been a bit slow in taking their time.
I think it's because they don't want to keep on winning the same thing because they feel bad taking it, which I totally understand.
I don't have much else. I think I have some Future Foundation in my garage, so I'll bust that out.
Yeah, bust out Future Foundation. That'd be cool. The only other thing I was going to suggest to you, bud, is if we come across the people that are viewing live and they're like, I don't want to answer this because I've already won this and I feel bad taking it from somebody else or don't need it twice. If we come to that consensus, then we ask that quiz through your Instagram, through your like Instagram live. Not Instagram live, sorry, Instagram story. Or you can ask it on Facebook and everything, and you can have people. You
can talk to my wife about that because she runs that domain.
I guess you won't be able to pick a winner though, will you? No. You could pick one at random, maybe. Green Day says, I don't want to steal from anyone. Lydia says, can you say the question again? My English is bad. Okay, Lydia, how can I explain this? Okay, so in Star Wars, Han Solo says that the Millennium Falcon made the Kessel Run in how many parsecs?
Now,
so it's
Kessel and parsecs is not English. It's made up Star Wars mumbo jumbo.
But I'm looking for a number. So I'm looking for a number that the Millennium Falcon made the Kessel Run in. General Kenobi. By the way, the voice of Grievous in Revenge of the Sith is the same guy who does it in Clone Wars.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Not a fan of the guy who does the voice of Dooku in Clone Wars. I was like, you ain't no.
Or Anakin, to be honest.
Or Anakin. Yeah, Anakin doesn't... He's
actually, you know what? No, that's not true. Anakin's voice is better than the actual movie one.
Yeah, but he's based off Hayden Christensen, so it's weird to then have a bit of a different choice. Obi-Wan's the best. That guy nails Obi-Wan. Like, I love that Obi-Wan. He's in the video games as well. Like, he does the voice of the Obi-Wan in the video games. It's great.
Yeah. Green
Day, you are a bold one. Yeah, I love that line.
You are a bold one.
Well, it would be like Mace Windu being like, don't talk about me not having any hair. I'm self-conscious about
that. You are a bold one.
Bold one.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Oh, no one's answering, bud.
Really?
I think you're going to have to turn this to social media. Ask your wife how to do it. Tiafira says 12 parsecs. Tiafira, you win.
You win.
If you've won already and you don't want it, then talk to Will about it or in email. But if you'd like it, of course, then by all means, you've won that.
Okie dokie. I'm pretty much done now. Let's get a better view of this. We got our Grievous there.
Looks great, man. Big fan.
Thank you very much. Of course, this camera doesn't focus. I'll hold it up for you so you can get a better look, bud.
Yeah, I love that glow on that. It's awesome. Well done.
So we only have 3 more to go. Oh, what is all of this?
What are you doing?
There's little
Smudges?
there's little like Copic. Ah, that must have been from opening caps. It must have dripped.
No.
Hopefully it won't ruin the other pieces.
You
We'll
will
see.
die.
So far, if you've noticed, everyone's a villain.
Oh yeah.
Joe Exotic, Predator, and Grievous. Everyone is a villain.
Joe Exotic with Grievous and Predator is so funny. It's like having like a badass.
It's like Legion of Doom. It's like we have Predator, General Grievous, and Joey Exotic.
What's he gonna do? He's gonna hit on all the Robins and make sure that they're on meth by the end of the day.
He's like, I think that it's that bitch Carol Baskin that did all of this.
Hey, Dick Grayson, do you like Dick?
Oh. You want to be my grayson?
Don't even know what that means. I don't want to know.
Care to find out?
All right. I'm gonna go make some dinner, bud.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us, and I'll see you on Monday. What am I doing on Monday? Spider-Man and Hitmonkey Commission. So
cool.
Peace out, Cub Scouts, and we're gonna end the stream, and I'm gonna do it in my old man way because I gotta click the button, and it comes up, and then I gotta go click on Would you like to end stream? Yes, I would very much like to end the stream.